I suppose the biggest single difference is that if you're working with young people particularly young people who don't have non-professional young people who don't have a knowledge of cinema or an awareness of cinema, they don't take their point of interest and their point of focus is really the process. So they're much more interested in process than product. And what I mean by that is they don't really understand the nature of what the film might be, whereas more experienced actors tend to have a more awareness of what they're doing towards a final product. In other words, what the final film might be, might look like, might sound like, and where they might sit within that narrative. Whereas non-professionals tend not to know what the film might be, end up as at all. So that's the single most biggest difference. The other difference is just technical things, so that more experienced actors will know what the role and the importance of repeated action is. When I say repeated action, that means doing the same thing more than once for different shots or different takes. One of the reasons I wanted to do the film was it had elements of action adventure which I'd never done before, so that was part of my point of interest in doing it. I went to see my friend Paul Greengrass, who makes things like the Bourne Identity films. I asked him what is the difference between action and drama. He said there's no difference, don't worry about it. In a sense, it's just the accumulation of detail. In other words, you need a lot more shots with action. And rhythm, you tend to need to know the rhythm of a scene before you start shooting it. So it was useful to have a music, what you might be cutting to later on. So predetermining what that music might be was useful to me. But in the end, all action is based on character as well, so it's making sure it isn't just vague, repetitive action, but action is a process by which you reveal character. Well, the music was very important to me, but a lot of the big music choices, that's music that's already, in other words, the music that was already in existence, not the new music was composed by Antonio Pinto later on, came from the Adriana Goldman, that's the director of photography. His 14-year-old son, who's very interested in rap and funk within the Rio sort of milieu of the moment, played me a lot of music, and so I chose a lot of music from his playlist. Really is where it comes from, Adriana Goldman's son. And he was very interested in what was contemporary rap and contemporary funk at the time.